Hello guys, and welcome to the third part of this wonderful series. Okay, I put these I put the other videos ahead of time, so I didn't really get to like expect the reaction that you guys gave, but you guys seem to responding to this video, this series very well. Thank y'all so much. Maybe I'll try to go past 6 parts, who knows, because I'm recording these very fast actually. So yeah, just thank you for liking the videos, subscribe, share this. Maybe when I come back after my long hiatus, or maybe I won't go again. I have to pass the test and everything. If I do pass, that's good, but please pray for me to pass, because I do not feel confident. It's not just about stamina. I have pretty freaking good stamina, but other issues. All right, without any further ado, let's get into it with the recap. We began with the villains attacking the USJ and Izuku essentially taking care of them all by himself and killing the Nomu. When they get a break and come back, this is when Izuku would show that he can automatically use his weapons masterfully during the sports exams. He just crushes everything as well. He and Todoroki get quite close during their fight and before. Izuku beats him and then Bakugo and wins the sports festival altogether. Afterwards, during their days off, Izuku would train Uraraka and give her a gift, and when Izuku returns with everyone, he does 3 things. He hands an item to Ida meant to fix his brother, he hands something to Aoyama meant to fix his stomach aches by reinforcing his body, and he uses his staff to heal Aizawa's eyes, and then gives, I guess that's 4 things, he gives a potion to Aizawa for Recovery Girl, and then everyone gets ready to choose hero names. Before we do begin, let's take a look at the nominations, Aizawa said, with him then putting up a holographic chart showing who heroes wanted. Dude, seriously? Oh, you gotta be kidding. Midoriya, you have a million nominations? Mineta yells with him, them shaking Izuku back and forth, and Izuku calmly says, seems so. Taking this all in, they're all kind of stuck in a daze, with Aizawa saying, yeah, this has never happened before. Obviously, dude, you're famous as hell. As he shows a slight smile, they think it's crazy that he decides to be smug now. But Izuku's actually thinking, I want some Katsudon. Aizawa would then put away the hologram as he says that those who haven't been nominated will still get work. You still need to get experience. And that's when the hero names come in, says Sato. Yep. And I'm not going to watch over this. She will. As they look to the door, it is slid open by Midnight, who walks in saying, the name you pick will define you as a hero, so don't take it lightly. Okay, guys? Were you waiting outside that entire time? For this one moment, Izuku asked, with Midnight then saying, of course, as making the right entrance is important. She then gave them boards and 15 minutes to pick their names. Aoyama is the first to go, and the others do until Izuku decides on something, and he would walk up showing the name Gilgamesh. Well, I've heard that somewhere before, Mina said. Yeah, that guy was some king, right? Yeah, that totally fits you, Kirishima said. I like it. It's also catchy. I could call you maybe Gilga for short too, said Midnight. No. Man, you're stingy. Still pretty good. Round of applause. As they clap, he gets back to his seat and others go. Good names, bad names. Midnight instructs them all on what they should pick and what they should use, something tied to a personality, but Ida still isn't really sure of what he wants to choose, and he wants to ask his brother after he's healed by Izuku's item. Afterwards, they're then given a list, and Izuku gets a whole packet, by the way, and as I would say, submit your choices by this weekend. We'll leave you alone. He and Midnight would then step out as Midnight would then ask, what about that thing Midoriya gave you? I'm gonna go see Recovery Girl right now. As they reach her office and hand her the potion and take a seat, they would say, no, what happened? And she would say, look, Midoriya got me a gift. He specified that you take the smallest sip, said Aizawa. With a nod, she opens it up and would air sip it, taking a single droplet, just to be sure. Grape flavored. She closes up the potion and begins to kind of twist, with her falling to the floor, and the heroes go to get her up when they freeze. Well, don't just stop, help me up. I don't think that's an issue anymore, Midnight said. Recovery Girl then realizes that her own voice is different, not hoarse, and she slowly gets up, being a bit unbalanced, as she was now also taller, and looking into a nearby mirror, she saw she had gone back to her prime. I'm young? Looking back to the two, they're just as baffled as her, and they watch as the potion fades away, and Recovery Girl would then touch herself, her face. She's youthful, and it's just amazing. I'm back to my 40s. I like this, but I was fine with being old. I like being old. We will not fade to black. Hours later, Izuku sits across from Recovery Girl in Principal Nezu's office. Oh, so it's reversible, said Nezu. Really? Thank you. And Izuku would then look to her as she said this, asking, do you not like your youth? I mean, of course, but everyone has a time. Things like this, it's not something that should just be gifted, Midoriya. Right. But thank you for letting me experience this again. It's not my time anymore. It's your time. Your friend's time. Don't worry, we'll keep this a secret, Nezu said. Izuku would not thank him because, he also says that he knows that this will cause an uproar. People will want to know questions. But, Recovery Girl said that it's fine. I want to return to the youthful heroine I was. Alright, that's extremely ironic though, he said. With a snap of his fingers, he reverses the effects by literally taking it out of her body, and she would then morph back into the old, adorable, and short Recovery Girl with a more husky yet adorable voice who says, the good old days. I'll excuse myself now. I'll carry you. He grabs and carries her as she says that he's being very nice today, and Izuku says, I'm not heartless. Little Principal Nezu. Of course, and can you come back after school? I do have another favor to ask of you. Izuku says sure and leaves, telling Recovery Girl, I was afraid of my mom dying sometimes. I guess I forced that on you. Sorry. I read your file. It's okay. I mean, losing your father to villains at such a young age. I don't blame you. What you can do, though, is save more people for the sake of your father. As they walk down the hall, we have a flashback. That very same day, Izuku returned home after putting the fear of God in Bakugo. He ran into his home yelling in a much more hyper-happy tone, Dad! Running down the stairs and coming to meet him, Hisashi would then fix his glasses. Why are you so dirty? Running to his dad, he said that he took care of some bullies, and the surprised Hisashi would then pick him up. You're taking your first step towards destiny, my son. Thank you, father. Are you guys role-playing again? Ingo asked, with him coming down the stairs as well, and Hisashi would then say, he stopped some bullies at the park. Ah, Mr. Hero, what a great job you've done, she said. Puffing out his chest, Izuku would then say that he looked super cool while doing it, when his stomach would then grumble, making him blush in embarrassment, and Hisashi would then walk to the kitchen, putting him down. I guess all that hero work left you hungry. I guess so. Can I have katsudon? You always want katsudon, Inko said. That's because it's the best. Or maybe it's how awesome I make them, Hisashi says. This beautiful scene, however, then switches to a week later, when Izuku and Inko are shown the dead body of Hisashi by the ambulance, and the surrounding, citizens, people around in the neighborhood will be watching, worried, and taking some pictures. And holding Izuku tight, a shivering Inko covers his eyes as Izuku begins to sniff and then cry, and cries so hard that it seemed that he was never going to stop. His dad's body was, honestly, even though he could barely see it, it was mangled in a horrible way. It's actually so terrifying if I can describe it, like a child seeing that is horrible. I am a horrible person for making this happen in the story. But because of that, something inside Izuku broke that day. It just died. As we return to the present, Izuku has dropped off Recovery Girl and walks back into class to see Uraraka showing Mina and Tsuyu what Izuku gave her as a gift. Oh, hey Midoriya, Mina said. You just couldn't help yourself, said Izuku as he took a seat, and Uraraka said that she just couldn't help it. The weapon the gift that she got was a weapon called Kusari Fundo. It's literally the name in the modern world. It's a type of weapon. It doesn't have an actual name. So it's a long chain with two ends that have heavy little batons weighing 20 pounds each. However, it's perfect for Uraraka as it can change in weight, allowing her to use it as a restraining device, but also to whack people within fight. Also, the chain can be affected by her quirk, but the heavy ends can only be controlled by remote voice activation. So she can keep control of how she swings it with perfection if she manipulates her zero gravity and her just her moves better. But Izuku is still helping her use it correctly. So after this, they all leave, and the day after that, everyone will then gather later by a nearby train station with Aizawa, and they all part ways after making sure they have everything. Ida has already used the item on his brother, so he has gotten his response, but that doesn't mean that his quest for vengeance is exactly gone. Izuku meanwhile takes a small ride on a train, comes to the hero agency of Sir Nighteye, and as he enters the building, many recognize him because it's hard not to, and he made quite the impression a few days ago. Heading up the floors, he will then soon reach the office of Sir Nighteye, which he knocks on, and it is opened by Bubble Girl. Oh, sir, he's here. Also, she doesn't have an underboob or whatever the fuck. There's no reason for a full-grown woman to put that kind of image out, which only makes sense when you learn that Bubble Girl was literally a fan creation. At least Midnight has a reason as to why she looks like a stripper. Her body secretes what she uses. She has to look like that, even if she is a bit kinky. You get the point. I don't like Bubble Girl's design, and the fan who made that shit, bro, get a life. Anyway. Walking in, Izuku would then see Sir Nighteye as he says that he came to work, and there's a bizarre tension and silence between the two. These guys are so alike, it's scary, Bubble Girl thought. Nighteye, however, would then break the silence, saying, "You'll be staying here for about a week, and during it you'll participate in patrols with Bubble Girl and your senior centipede." "Alright." Respond with, "Yes, sir." "Yes, sir." Standing up, Nighteye would then say that he can put on his costume, and when he and Bubble Girl are about to head out, they're then blinded by a light, as he would then clearly reveal Izuku in a full golden suit of armor with a red mantle. "Oh, cool!" Coming closer, Nighteye would then touch and feel the fabric. "I hope this won't harbor your movement." "No, it's got a lot of breathing space, and it's light yet hard. Even rockets can't pierce it." Yes, that's good. "Welcome to my agency." Holding his hand out, he and Izuku shake it, and Nighteye actually kind of smiles a little bit. And from here on out, Izuku's days of patrol investigation begin as he does meet Centipede, who he gets along with very well, as well as Little Girl. And spending 3 days over, he gets to just know how the inner workings of the agency work. And on the 4th day, he and Bubble Girl will then head out together and take the train as they head to Hosu. "You have any questions before we get there?" she asks. 1. Why does Sir Nighteye always look like he's gonna kill someone? It's just a quirk of it. It's not his literal quirk, but it's a bad habit from him always being professional. Just like how you always look stoic. "I do? You didn't notice that?" she thought. Her look of surprise makes him realize that he does always look stoic, even until Rukia said it, which he never considered as such. He just has, it's his natural face. At that moment, however, a loud bang is then heard, with him instantly then standing as people in their car wonder what's going on. "Sounds like a villain attack. I really hope it's just a malfunction." Making their way over to the 4th car in front of them in the train, the two come to find a giant hole open at the side of it, as Bubble Girl would then help up the hero nearby and ask what happened. As the train soon comes to a stop, by that time the hero is up and a little bit better. Izuku would then jump out of the train and land on Vima now, which he summons. "We should hurry," he says. "Right, please stay here, out of harm's way. The police is on the way over." She runs out with Izuku, then blasting off to the sky farther, and she makes a call for the train to the police, and this is when they start to come to a part of the city up in smoke and flames, and she puts away her phone, saying, "This feels like the USJ incident." Quickly coming to ground, they hover over it, catching the attention of many heroes, civilians, and nomus, whose brains are then pierced by blades from behind the ship from gates, and they all fall dead as the blades would fade. Leaping down from the aircraft, Bubble Girl would then grab some civilians and help them, and Mirio would then run over, and Bubble Girl is surprised to see him here. And looking to the ship, Mirio is astonished, much like the heroes and citizens, when from behind, a flying gnome then comes to Mirio, who with a turn explodes with yellow lightning, smashing its brain in with a punch. "Pay more attention," Gran Torino said, within them making his entrance and saying, "What are you guys looking at? Go do your jobs." "But right, come this way, please." Putting their amazement, their bafflement on pause right now, everyone goes back to their job as heroes. Well, Izuku would then leap out from Vimana and is approached by Mirio, and he says, "You're working with Sir, huh? Are you Mirio Togata?" "Yep, that's me. I would like to work like usual, but I have to take some extra lessons." He points to Gran Torino, and Izuku would then say, "Alright, nice to meet you." He would then snap his fingers, and from a gate that falls a blade, which he then catches and swings in a crescent motion, almost pushing the heroes over with a cold chill and blinding them as well as the citizens. But when they open their eyes, the flames are all frozen, with the street now being filled with ice. "That thing's amazing," Gran Torino thought. "The area effect is... wow." From afar, standing on a building, a recently freed Shigaraki from prison watches as the flames go out and scratches his skin in frustration. "That little shit's always getting in my way. Maybe that Stain guy's having more luck than me." We are then directed to a quite gory scene with the bleeding Ida screaming even more as his arm is stabbed by a blade of Stains. "So weak. You and your brother are so weak." "Shut up, evildoer. You bastard. How can you callously try to steal someone's life like that? How would you stop whining and save that guy first? The fact that you're over here spewing your shit to me instead of doing your job proves how unhero-like you are." Licking the blood on his blade, he numbs and renders the body of Ida paralyzed right as the blade is then cut. What is left behind is a streak of light that follows them, and Sting would then look to the side, seeing a bloodlusted Izuku, who with continuous strikes with his twin golden swords at his hands, attacks and pushes him back. Finally, a guy who knows what he's doing. As he blocks Izuku's slashes, he scales the nearby walls and then jumps at him, which he would then, and before he then swings, and upon hitting the armor of Izuku, his sword would then shatter, and in that instant, he is then stabbed to the floor by Izuku from his arm. "Don't touch him again." He kicks away the blade from the villain as he's then pulled up by Enkidu and strung up and being burned, but instead of screaming, he laughs at this pain. "Yeah, that's it. You're not as good as All Might, but you'll do." At that moment, Izuku's rage only grows more and more, with Ida having never seen him act this way before. "Is it because of me? He's gonna kill him. Midoriya, ugh, no, I can't even move. Don't hurt him." All that Izuku sees right now is the memory of his father, a dead body. That particular day is still kind of clouding his judgment so much that at this moment, his blade would not only touch the chest of Stain, but he begins to push it through the villain, when Miro would then jump in the way of into the alley, grabbing and tackling Izuku to the ground. Snap out of it! He slams his head to the ground, and in that moment, Izuku would regain sanity as he turns to see Ida. He's alive. That's right, he is, Miro said. Another trauma-ridden bastard trying to put feelings into work. Hero, Stain said. You don't get to say that, Miro said, pretending getting off Izuku and helping him up, and Izuku would then say, it's fine. As long as people I care about live, I don't care who I am. Walking to Ida, he helps him up, saying to never do something like this again. Got it? Yeah, I should have had backup. We would then fade to black. The hero killer was caught by the police, and the credit still goes to Endeavor as to cover up what truly happened, but Izuku is not in trouble because he was authorized to engage, and our favorite class would then regather a day later. What the hell is up with your head, Bakugo? Sarah and Kirishima would be losing their minds over his new haircut, with him saying to shut up. It won't freaking go back to normal, alright? However, they only laugh more and more, causing him to be so pissed that his hair explodes back to normal. Meanwhile, Suyu, Mina, and Uraga are talking about everything and how it was for them, and Izuku, Todoroki, and Ida are just discussing what they learned. This is when Kaminari would then ask how it was to see the hero killer. I refuse to believe you were saved, though, Mineta said. I mean, after the crap you've pulled? Yeah, I can't exactly see that happening. Even Endeavor can't escape your chains, man. Good, because it's not true. I chained him up and stabbed him, Izuku said. Dude! The hell? What, you guessed right. I think they're more surprised that you stabbed him, Ida said. Oh, well, he was an asshole. That was the bare minimum. I mean, true, but I mean, did you hear his speech, though? That was something. I mean, he's still crazy, but Jiro would then say, Kaminari, come on. No, it's alright, Ida said. I understand why some might be drawn to him. He definitely taught me a lesson, as twisted as it was, but the conclusion of his ideology led him to purging everyone. I'll never, ever let someone like that hurt anyone again. Great, because he wasn't wrong, technically, Izuku said. Pick a side! You stabbed him. How does that make any sense? Yeah, and hero society feels like a sham sometimes. It's true, but when I become a hero, that's what I'm gonna dismantle, Izuku said. You say whatever just comes to mind, huh, said Sato. Yep. Ida, however, keeps thinking back to that bloodlust state Izuku was in, and it worries him because his issues seem far more long-term than his, because his brother's already getting back to hero work. He's getting, like, revitalized and everything. Afterwards, All Might would then come in, take them to Ganma Gymnasium, where they race. They would then return to class, where Aizawa tells them about the summer launch. Then weeks and weeks pass, but no one really studied, and those who really have bad ranks and study panic. But Momo would then offer help, which they take. And then they go to lunch as Todoroki, Hagakure, and Suyu join Izuku's group for the day. What was your rank in the written exams, Midoriya? Todoroki asked. With the piece on, he says he came in 4th. Lucky, that's the invisible girl. I really need Momo's help. Honestly, we should be wondering about the practical part that comes with this, said Suyu. At that moment, though, a sound is then heard with everyone turning to see a groaning Monoma who tried to accidentally bump into Midoriya only to hit his golden auto defensors. Excuse me, I tripped. He definitely did that on purpose, all of them thought. This would then fade with Izuku saying it's fine and everyone gets back to lunch, thus rendering Monoma's attempt to start a spiel useless, and he walks off angry. You won this time, Midoriya. Annoying quirk. Time would then pass, and the final week was used to study as much as they could, and when the day finally came, they do pretty well on the written exams, only to then be facing their teachers outside after all this in their hero costumes. Let's begin the practical exam, Aizawa said. There are a lot of teachers here. I think all of them are here. Considering how you guys have, been asking around, and I know you have, you might have an idea of what's coming, Aizawa said. Yeah, we're fighting robots, right? Says Mina. Out of nowhere, Nezu would then jump out from Aizawa's scarf saying, not exactly. Various occurrences have demanded revisions to the test. Seriously? What kind of revisions? And how were you hiding in there? As he made his way down, Aizawa would then, as he made his way down from Aizawa, he explained that due to the attack from the villains and how increasingly more dangerous things are getting, they need to optimize on combat. As such, you'll be pairing up and fighting the teachers before you. Against the pro, Uraraka said. The pairs have already been decided. Momo and Todoroki, you're with me. Next is Midoriya and Katsuki against All Might. Upon hearing this, a grin would then show on Bakugo, with All Might then walking in and saying, I feel quite in shape, so give me everything you have, Wonder Duo. Yeah, because I healed you, Izuku thought. Kaminari and Mina face Nezu, Sarah and Mineta face Midnight, Suyu and Tokiyami face Ectoplasm, Sato and Kirishima face Cementos, Shoji and Hagakure face Snipe, Ida and Ojiro face Power Loader, Uraka and Aoyama face 13, Jiro and Koda face Present Mike. They split up and go their separate ways as they are driven by a bus by each teacher to a site within UA. Seriously, this school is huge as hell. And they're dropped off at the beginning of the site while the teacher will then wait on the inside to meet or ambush them. Recovery Girl will then watch it all from the monitoring room as she gives them the go for them all to begin, and they begin simultaneously. Walking in their sight though, Izuku and Bakugo do not talk, only speak when they need to. An amulet is then dropped from a gate that Bakugo will then catch and put on. What does it do? It increases your evasion and protects against projectiles. Any kind, it doesn't have to be a weapon related. At that moment, an explosion of wind blows past the coming down from the street and sending boulders and rubble their way, which is then blocked by a barrier from the amulet that Bakugo is wearing, while Izuku will then just run forward, and Bakugo will then follow, using explosions to go past him as he makes his way ahead, allowing him to see All Might. And as he blasts him, All Might will then rush forward with a Lariat that blows away the attack, only for his arm to then be caught by Izuku's chains as they near Bakugo, and from behind he's then cut through telekinetically or whatever by Izuku's energy draining scythe, allowing Bakugo to hit him point blank and push him back. At least use the evasion, you bastard. Running past him, Izuku will then say it doesn't matter, as his auto defenses will then come out and fire bolts of lightning that All Might has to block, thus blowing him away and also blowing away the smoke from Bakugo's explosion. The lightning is so unrelenting though that it digs All Might's feet into the ground and continuously pushes him back as his costume begins to burn up and be burnt off. You are quite the savage for a hero. You're too smiley for a villain, Bakugo says, with him then firing AP shot after AP shot that hits All Might's torso, but it does no damage, while the lightning will then finally blow him away and slam him to the ground. A domino effect will then occur as buildings begin to crumble just from the sheer pressure and cracks that are spreading, and All Might disappears in a flash, appearing behind Izuku as he punches, but his defenders block it with the leftover shockwave blowing Bakugo away. Instantly, All Might is then grabbed by Enkidu as he struggles to get free and he's strung up, but to no avail, and Izuku will then put the cuffs on his left arm. Midoriya and Katsuki pass, Recovery Girl said, as she yells over the speaker, and all the students who hear this now know they need to finish up as well, and Bakugo will then run back pissed that even All Might wearing weighted bracelets couldn't be hurt in any way. And Izuku will then let the hero land and he stretches. Man, those chains are quite powerful. It's not about strength, they're unhurtable, unbreakable. That's one of their effects, one of their many effects. Freaking hate your guts, Bakugo said. I'm well aware. You guys get along so well, says All Might. We don't, they say. Alright, well, you should try to. No. Okay, I'm just gonna shut up now about All Might. So one thing that does change for this part of the arc is mostly for Aoyama, who now basically has no restrictions. Thus, he was able to spam attacks that mess with 13. He actually showed much more prowess than before, so he and Uraraka are the second group to pass. But not everyone does, much like in the original. But they're still, of course, gonna go shopping. It was a ruse, as I was an asshole. And the shopping goes quite well. Shigaraki doesn't even dare get close to Izuku because he'll get captured again. Afterwards, they head over to their camp on the UA bus and exit an hour later into driving. And they walk off the vehicle, let off yawns, and just kind of stretch. Finally, it felt like forever. I gotta pee, and then I thought, wait, this is a rush. Why are we here? asked Sarah. Yeah, and where's Class B? As the bus of the class actually passes them at that moment, this makes the situation much more suspicious. And out of the car near the cliff will then walk out two familiar people, Pixie and Manole, who pose, introducing themselves, much to the surprise of the class. And then Koda will then walk out. You will be supervised and trained by the Wild Wild Pussycat, said Aizawa. Yep, and that's where our camp is, at the base of that mountain, right there, Manole would say, with them pointing quite a long distance away. And now this felt really bizarre. Then why did we stop halfway? Sato asked. Yeah, guys, we should run, said Sarah. Don't move. Aizawa frees up to look to Izuku, who as he walks forward looks back saying, jump with me. Are you crazy? We've been through this. Yes, but if you're not going to, I'll just go by myself. Running to the edge of the hill, much to the shock of everyone, he leaps off. Midoriya! Oh, come on! Running after him, they leapt off the edge as well, with Koda then wondering how insane they must be. Like, bro, are you suicidal? And soon they all begin to free fall. Don't try to be cool or anything, Deku. I'll kill you if you call me that again. How are you guys still arguing despite us falling this high? From above, the teachers would then watch them crash, safely of course, with Pixie then saying, I felt a chill. That kid really just does whatever. I like it. They're all freaking crazy, Koda thought. An explosion of shimmering blue light is then seen through the forest at that moment, with Aoyama releasing a blast at a beast coming their way, ripping through it and more of them that are coming their way. Go guys, I'll open the sparkling path. Thanks, Aoyama. Let's wreck these bastards. Lunging forward, they all attack, while Mineta would then take his time to finally pee, and Todoroki, as he rides on a wave of ice, is then throwing Izuku's blade, and he would then thank him as he swings down. He combines this ice blade with his own quirk and flash faces everything within a 3-mile radius, and blasting in, Bakugo begins to shatter the weakened creatures. And coming to land, a specific amount of beasts would then go for Izuku, when they are then instantly bound by his chains, and from all over past him run Ida, Kirishima, Ojiro, and Shoji, who decimate him, and the chains are then retracted, and leaping to the air, Izuku will then summon a drill sword as he grabs it with both hands and stabs into a beast's head as it comes down. The drill will then expand and begin to spin at incredible speed, ripping through the beast as it creates a whirlwind, and Izuku will then land as he points it forward, and this spreads an ever-growing violent wave. With this, we'll be getting over this super fast. Hey guys, let's hurry this up. Feeling very determined, they move forward and very fast and make it to the campsite in only 30 minutes. They're then met by the teachers and Koda, and yeah, they're just waiting for them. Wow, you guys beat our best time, said Mandalay. I thought it'd take you a little bit longer, said Pixie Bob, but you folks especially. I am guessing your experiences let you move without fear. I call dibs. Lunging at them, Pixie is then shot by Izuku's auto defensor as it hits her and she falls to the ground face first. Creepy, Izuku said. What'd you do that for? I'm too used to Aizawa-sensei's sternness. You got too close. That's a lie, she said. Looking away, Izuku doesn't deny that he didn't do it on purpose, but he doesn't really say much either, leaving the hero fuming while Mandalay would then come and drag her away. Sorry about that. Now hurry and get settled in, Aizawa said. With a nod, they get their suitcases and learn about the infrastructure of the base as they would find where they're staying, and of course they're still separated by sexes. And then they, by the time they come out, night has fallen, they get to gorging themselves on food, then they go to the hot springs. While they do and just relax in the soothing water, Ida would then notice Mineta pressing his ears against the wall, separating them from the girl's side. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Ida yells. Of course I know what I'm doing. This wall separates us mortals from heaven, waiting to be barged into. Dude, this is not gonna end well. Like, stop being creepy. You know what happens every time. Stop that at once. It's extremely disrespectful, said Ida. However, Mineta will then start to scale the wall using his sticky balls, with everyone then yelling for him to come back down. But as he reaches the top, he's met by Koda, who then shoves him off. Be a better person before you decide to become a hero. You little brat! As he falls, Ida would then run and catch him, while Koda is thanked by the girls, but is left shocked from seeing them naked, causing him to trip and start falling backwards, with him then screaming when a flash would then blind him, and in an instant he is then caught in Izuku's arms. Oh. He passed out, Izuku said, with him having just teleported the kid to him using a gate. When'd you learn that? Just now. I'll get him to Miss Mandalay. He might have received some massive shock from that. Stepping out of the water, he runs off with Sarah, then saying, if we can teleport people now, that's just more annoying for us. I always thought it was a natural next step, said Todoroki. Time skip. We open up on the next day at 5 a.m. early in the morning, with Vlad King having just gotten his class from bed and fully dressed. Actually, no, not 5 a.m., not 5 a.m. They woke up a little early. So let's say it's already like 1 o'clock. Yeah, let's say it's 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. And he says, let's move on. 1 A's already ahead. They stole a spotlight last time, but this is our time to shine. Sorry he didn't make you proud, Sensei, although one be thought. As they follow him up to the place, though, Tokage would then ask, how are we just going to improve our quirks, though? There are like 20 of us and like a bunch of 1A. I mean, how are any of us going to train properly? As they get closer to the training ground, and you know, near the area, I don't know why I'm making this all complicated, they hear loud sounds going off, bombastic as hell, and they feel the question is about to be answered in the worst way. And Vlad says, much like how you tear muscle fibers and rest to let them grow stronger for your quirks, you just need to blow past your limits. They follow him past some bushes obstructing their view, and they see the hellscape that is 1A's training session, and they're like horrified. What is this? This is literally hell on earth. Wow. Okay. Past some of them will then fly a sword, and their eyes trail them off to see Izuku, who brings some weapons that he shot out to the sky oh my god, I can't do it. Telekinetically. Jesus Christ. He brings it all into a storm of 100 weapons that he begins to spin around himself as he's atop a mountain, and he feels the pain of controlling all of these weapons strain on his brain, but he doesn't stop before he then shoots the weapons back to the sky, directing everyone to a shimmering light that literally blows away the clouds. Yeah, he's not human. He's some monster, said Monoma. That's pretty real. This is the norm for Midoriya. As they hear Aizawa, the class will then see him walk over, with him then apologizing for the stray sword, and they're just shocked at how normally he's saying that. But seriously though, how are you gonna oversee us? Kendo asks. That's what you have them for. He points behind as the Wawa Pussycats would then run out before them and pose, now having all their members, and they introduce themselves and their quirks, and they said they'd be watching over 1B, while 1A would vicariously rip their limits apart. And after training with his weapons control, Izuku was put through strength training with Tiger and with others as well, which is something that he's not exactly good at. Like, he has stamina, but his physical strength is not so good. Like, he's very average, he's not that strong. But then training continues until the sun begins to fall, and then the students go back to their individual campsites and cook for themselves. But as he's handed a plate and is about to dig into it, Izuku would then see Koda sneaking off. He's lucky this place doesn't have any dangerous animals, Izuku thought. Eventually getting up, he would grab a bento and follow Koda to the top of the mountain, where he finds him sitting. Hey. A startled Koda would then turn around, asking him what he's doing here, and walking closer, Izuku would then put down the bento and he starts walking off without another word. I don't want your stupid food, take it. I didn't cook it, I don't care. Going up to the bento at this point, Koda would then kick the food off the mountain, only for it to fall through a gate, opened up, and instantly another one would then open up above him, and it falls right back at his feet, and he looks up seeing the gate close up. That piece of... Stop trying to be a hero in front of me, you freaking show-off. Izuku, however, is no longer even in sight, and Koda is so annoyed that he just thinks about kicking the bento again, but he will just give up and stay far away from it, while Izuku thought, man, he's violent. Time would then pass, with Izuku then doing the same thing for 3 days, but Koda just ignores him and doesn't eat the food which he lets rot. And on the 4th day though, the usual program is switched up with one day being gathered, and Pacey would then say, okay guys, time for the test of courage. Yes, I've been waiting for something like this, Mina said. However, she is then grabbed by Aizawa's scarf, as he would then say they're having extra lessons. Sato, Kaminari, Sarah are also bound with them being dragged away and lamenting while asking for help. Give us a break, come on, sensei. We were lacking, this is what happens. As they wish the four good luck, the class would kind of feel bad, but like, you know, it is what it is. And then we'll listen to Pacey Bob and the rules of the game, but as everyone is paired up, Izuku was left as the extra left out. Since we drew lots, this is kind of inevitable, said Ojiro. Sorry, Midoriya. Oh, I'm fine, you guys have fun. Yeah, screw that. Switch with me, Bakugo yells, with him then pointing to Todoroki, who was his partner. Oh, okay. I thought you were fine. Walking to Todoroki, they fist bump, with him then saying that if the opportunity comes, he's gonna take it. And Bakugo would then go and wait with the pairs who aren't going yet. Uraka said, good for you, Izuku. Why do I feel like I'm being babied or something? Izuku said. As they head into the forest, Todoroki would then say, maybe because you always look so stoic. I mean, no one can really know what you're thinking in that sense. Just like you. Yep, said Todoroki. So the game would begin, and Class 1A would be getting surprised, even scared, or stay apathetic to 1B trying to scare them. But then something bizarre begins to occur, with Izuku and Todoroki seeing an eruption of blue flames from afar. Forest fire, Todoroki said. A gate would then open beside Izuku as it launches its freezing blade that would then soon jab into the ground from afar and release an explosion of frost that blows away the flames, catching Dabi, who erupted them off guard as he begins to shake when he then begins to thaw himself free. That freaking hurts, you brat. They don't set the forest on fire. Hearing the voice of Izuku, the villain would then turn, firing a blast of flames to the air, while quickly pulling back his hand, and an outer defender would then block this, and he is then bound from behind by Enkidu before being strung up, but as Todoroki will then run in. He's the guy? Izuku would then land from fight saying, yeah, but Dabi would begin to laugh as he literally melts. I really can't beat your eyes, huh? I guess I need more power. Are you those villains that attacked us at the USJ? Are you allied with them? Todoroki yells. I guess we haven't introduced ourselves, huh? Or we didn't get to. We're the Villain League. As he fades, the chambers then retract to the gates and then close up, and then they hear the sound of battle from afar, so they know this must be like another huge attack. Here, take this, Izuku said, with him then flinging the ice blade to Todoroki, who catches it, while Izuku would then take to the sky, and he says that he has to go check out something. Don't die, okay? That's a bit extreme, I'll be fine, just come back safe, said Todoroki. They both nod and go their separate ways, with Todoroki not even being surprised that he can fly now, because it's Izuku. It's to be expected. However, for villains, this time the strategy is much more different, as it relies on Twice's and his clones, and Twice's quirk and his clones. He made so many that are spread out, and ones such as, Moonfish, like they're going full on. There are 3 of them meant to keep the students in check, while Dabi's clones, actually, there's more of Dabi, would spread more fire, and the gas that has been spreading through would also make this much worse. And as for Izuku, he flies and comes to a stop beside the mountain, interrupting muscular spiel to Koda, who is of course terrified at this moment. Ah, there's the prize, the villain said. Izuku raises an eyebrow to this as he lands in front of Koda. You okay? Koda is too scared to speak though, and he instead asks, what do you mean prize? Well, we all came here for you, kid. As Izuku heard this, from above, a loud scream is heard, with him then looking up to see two musculars, while the real one will then come in with a muscle-enhanced punch, but it is blocked by a defensor, frightening Koda at the impact. The other two will then crash in from above, but are also blocked by a defensor as well, each. Don't panic, I'll deal with them. Wipe your tears, Izuku said. The starter Koda will then see Izuku is unwavering, almost bored, and looking up, he starts to lose a bit of fear as the musculars are then pushed back and back, but they envelop themselves with massive amounts of muscle tissue. Can your chains hold this? The three say, with them then lunging forward and barraging Izuku with powerful attacks, spreading cracks through the mountain that shake it, but every attack is blocked by a defensor, with the musculars laughing incessantly. What's wrong, kid? Can you only defend? Come on, do something. Holding his hand out, Izuku would then pull out Dang Self. I hope I'm saying that correctly. A long, beautiful, bewitching, and demonic-looking sword that then he points forward as his face contorts to that of anger and complete malice. In a flash, he disappears, appearing behind the musculars, whose muscles explode to nothing, decaying into the wind, and the clones also shatter. With the spin, Izuku would then turn and appear back where he stood, now facing Koda, who is left starstruck as Muscular would fall over with his tendons and main muscles being severed. Ugh! I can't regenerate them. What'd you do to me? Picking up Koda, Izuku would then wipe his tears for him. I told you to wipe them. Jeez, can't even follow simple order. And you talk too much. As he struggled to get up, Izuku would then fly to the sky and took off with Koda, asking if he should just leave him here. Koda would ask if he should just leave him here. Are you the hero or me? You're not even a real hero yet. Well, the blade I hit him with destroys anything it touches. The effects last for as long as I want them to, so that's gonna be just him for a while. Okay, thanks for saving me. No problem. As he neared the starting area, he finds many clones of Spinner and Magni attacking the students and teachers, only for everyone to stop as they hear a crash, and turning around, they saw Izuku holding Koda. Midoriya, thank you for getting him, said Mandalay. Shit, run! And you don't gotta tell me that, Magni says, and before the clones can run off though, they're caught by Enkidu as they begin to turn into mushy paste that would melt to the ground, and Izuku would then walk over and hand Koda to Mandalay, who then asked him if he was hurt anywhere and if he was okay. They were trying to kill that shrimp, Bakugo asked Izuku. No, they came from me. As he heard this, Bakugo was surprised. Stop overreacting, Koda said to Mandalay. He got to me before they could do anything. Midoriya! As Ida yells this, he and everyone would then see him being pulled into a portal, as Koda would then turn just to see him disappear as the portal fades, and Ida dives for it, and Bakugo reaches for his friend's hand. Instead, able to crack his glasses as he falls face first, and Bakugo begins to shiver. Damn it! And Ida's voice is despair to the highest degree, as they're all left in shock as it seems Izuku has been abducted, and quickly using her power, Mandalay would then spread this using her telepathy, catching everyone off guard. He said they came for him, Bakugo said. They were? Then they just won, Pixie said. As for Izuku, upon falling through the portal, he falls into a barren city of Kamo, a part of it, as from all sides, high ends aim for him, and as they strike, a massive explosion will then occur, tearing down homes beside them, and from the dust clouds explode tendrils raised, and many things fired by high ends that are deflected by Izuku's auto defensors. Making their entrance, All For One and the Villain League members would see this playing out, and Spinner would then ask, "You think he survived that?" Of course he did, said All For One, with this voice sending shivers down everyone's spine, and as the dust clears, they show Hyans being beheaded by Izuku wielding Dang Self. They decay before everyone's eyes, adding a new variable to the fight as they quickly get on guard. Why did you bring me here? Izuku asks. In that instant, he's then pulled to the villains by Magne, and as he reaches All For One, he extends his tendrils, going to pierce the boy, but the defenses would then block the attack as a back and forth begins, until All For One is then knocked back, and an explosion of blades released from Izuku's gate, and as he lands, the blades will begin to chase down the villains who spread out, and at that moment, though All For One fires a compressed shockwave at Izuku, a gate will then form, taking in the attack, before then blasting it back at All For One from above, and this mask on his face is left cracked as he literally is forced to the ground, and he chokes on his own blood, which is pretty horrible since he literally barely has a mouth. Like, my man's can barely even freaking see. Using my own attack against me. Such a method. This child's unnatural, the villain thought. However, he wouldn't swing and extend his arm, hardening it at hypersonic speed, with Izuku then blocking his attack barely with his Dying Self, sending him flying, and as he tries to regain footing, All For One then attacks as he appears before the boy, pulling back his arms and slinging them forward. Izuku prepares to attack when from behind he feels a touch of Shigaraki, just as All For One attacks, but with a twist, Izuku pulls Shigaraki's hand to the right and off of him using a chain while he parries and slams the hands of All For One to the left before then cutting them off as the villain would scream, "Master!" Shigaraki is then kicked by Izuku as he yells this, and Izuku will then explode with light as he gains his hero costume, with him then yelling, "That's enough!" All for One, still writhing in pain on the floor, feels his regenerative quirk being cancelled out as he would then try to regenerate more and more, but the erosion on his body just quickly increases. With heavy breath, Izuku would then snap his fingers as both he and the master and the student are hung up by chains, as well as every single villain here. The student would then take a seat as he takes out his phone that falls from a gate, and he begins to dial a number. He's too strong a variable, that's why I need him. That's why I brought him, All for One thought. As Izuku puts his phone to his ear, a quake begins to spread as he begins to lose like a little bit of balance, and he turns to see a giant arm rise from the earth and punch down at him, causing an eruption that spreads for literal miles on end. Meanwhile, on the other end of Izuku's call, a running Aizawa would then take it. Midoriya, talk to me! Jeez, calm down, sensei. As we return to the battlefield, we find Gigantomachia who would attack, being held up by chains and his monstrous body filled with many holes. Maybe that monster lost to him, Dabi thought. What the hell is he? As he stands, Izuku would then say he's fine. I'm at Kamo. Come get me. Kamo City? What are you okay? This isn't a joking matter. With a sigh, Izuku would then go FaceTime as he points the phone around, and Aizawa stops as he's left completely shocked. And Izuku would then point the camera back to himself. See? I'm fine. I don't even know why I was so worried, actually, Aizawa said. Yeah, I figured you'd trust me by now, not to die, you know. I'll be waiting for you. He then cuts the call as Aizawa would then reach Mandalay and the kids running to him and, you know, his teaching room, I guess. And Baku would then yell, that bastard got, he's fine. He's completely okay, Aizawa said. Huh? He's completely fine. He's so strong, even the heroes are surprised, Koda thought. As Todoroki runs with Uraraka, trying to get back to camp with Suyu as well, they hear a voice of Mandalay telling them that Izuku called and that he was okay. He called? Uraraka said. I thought they took our phones. He keeps it as an inventory. The one that he gives Sensei is a fake, Todoroki said. But either way, he's okay, as expected of Midoriya. I guess I can't really think of anyone beating him, Suyu would say. What happens after this? How will this impact Japan? Find out in the next part of My Hero Academia. It's been your boy. If you enjoyed this, peace. I'm gone.